now coming back to our next slot, we are very honored to welcome here today Dr. Gustav Kalbe. Dr. Gustav Kalbe has a background in applied physics and PhD in physics also. And before he joined European Commission, he was working as a project manager in photonic networks and later as research and development manager in Belgium's telecom operator. So he has very strong technical background, which is very suiting to his current role. And he managed the European Commission research projects under European framework programs for research. And 2016, he was appointed as head of unit for high-performance computing and quantum technology. And earlier this year, he also assumed the role of acting director of DG Connect Digital Excellence and Science Infrastructures, showing his dedication and his expertise to Europe quantum topics. It's a great pleasure to have you here. Welcome, and as I understand, you will give a short keynote, and then we will also go to the panel discussion.
Okay, good afternoon. It's a real pleasure to be here today to have an invited talk at an event organized by Bitkom, a very large and renowned industrial organization. I will do my best to have such an inspirational talk as Professor Kalaku before, but I will try to slow down the rhythm of the words. I mean, it's incredible how many words he can place in a second. So, and I will concentrate now much more on the industrial aspects, the industrial roadmap and policy that we have in the Commission, and not looking so much back on the history. To move slides is the green one? Okay, so we are really at a very exciting moment in history. I mean, Europe has always been at the forefront in quantum. The beginning of last century, it was about understanding quantum physics. Then, as of the 90s of last century, it was trying to control quantum physics. And now we have come at a time where we have the first real quantum products, real quantum applications that are available. It's no longer fiddling around in the laboratory. Quantum now is a reality. The products or the application might still be a bit crude or primitive or not having the ultimate performance, but they're there and they're working. So it's now, for us, the key driver to take advantage of all the knowledge, all the expertise and competence that we have built up in Europe to now enter into this third phase of quantum, which is bringing quantum to the real world and making it usable. So you will see a number of our activities, the priorities we're having are geared towards bringing the quantum to you, to the real world, to the users, to the industry, to the applications. Now, just to highlight how well we are positioned in Europe and how proud we are about quantum in Europe, if you combine the national programs, the national initiatives with the European ones, you can see that the public funding is already very substantial. You can also see that in absolute and relative terms, we have the highest density of quantum professionals. So we have also a very vibrant community of startups. So basically everything is there to succeed in this worldwide race to take advantage of quantum and bring it to the benefit of everyone. The one part that might still be lacking a bit compared to other regions is more investment from the private side, but hopefully in the foreseeable future we'll also be able to revert the trend there and have also comparable levels of private investments, and a number of our initiatives are there to attract more investment in quantum in Europe. Now, a week ago, our Commissioner Breton, in a speech and as Professor Kalaku showed in a blog by our Commissioner, we are now ready to present in the next few months a coherent, consistent European quantum strategy that is taking stock of the different initiatives that we have, bringing them together and expanding them. So I cannot for the moment disclose the details because that's work in progress and will keep me busy for the next couple of months. But just to highlight the main axis, and they will not surprise you. We will keep investing significantly in basic research, in development, because this is really the basis that nurtures all the following step. But it's also very important that we build the whole value chain that we have in our region, all capabilities, all knowledge, all know-how to really take advantage of those research results and turn this into profitable markets. A question that always comes back and back is about how are we positioning ourselves vis-à-vis the rest of the world. So Quantum, we are very well positioned. We are one of the leading regions in the world, so we can be very proud and we can be certainly assertive to protect our interests and favor European approaches. But this does not mean that we'll be living on an island. We are working in partnership with like-minded countries to really reinforce our capabilities and reach common goals. And last but not least is the whole strength of the Quantum in Europe has always been working together with the member states, between the member states and at European level. And this is a dimension we want to keep, but we also want to strengthen it. And that's why my commissioner now announced that we'll come out with a coherent strategy that covers all the different angles. But I hope that by the end of the year, I can put in your hands the public strategy. Now, if you look at the talk that my commissioner made a week ago on quantum, he was mentioning, let's make Europe the quantum valley of the world. So this is a very nice concept. Now, don't take this literally. What I'm putting here is just to give you a flavor. The whole idea is really to bring together and connect all the different building blocks that we need to build the ecosystem, to have it striving and build the quantum valley. So from basic research to deployment of infrastructure, access to resources, manufacturing, venture capital, everything has to come together if we really want to become in 2030 the world leading region in quantum, as was already announced in the Digital Decade communication 2 years ago. Now, you might have seen this already in the presentation of Professor Tommaso, but I don't like the linear representation he makes, because we really have a mesh now of very different initiatives that are there to cover, address all aspects of the ecosystem. You have in the center the flagship, of course. This is what I like to call the technology supply side of what we're doing. That's where research is happening. That's where all the technical developments are happening. But then we're feeding this into a number of other initiatives. Some are deployment of infrastructure, like EuroHPC, where we're deploying a world-class supercomputing and quantum computing infrastructure. We are also deploying a quantum key distribution network Europe-wide based on fibers and on satellites. We are part of the CHIPS Act to address the manufacturing problem or the manufacturing question that we have in quantum. We're going into sensing infrastructure, be it on space, but also now more down to Earth on the network for gravimeters and the network of magneto detectors. And we have the whole dimension of investing in startups, providing capital, be it through the European Innovation Council, be it through the programs of the European Investment Fund, really to complete all aspects to build the ecosystem. I will go into more detail in some of those aspects, but what you really have to keep in mind from this picture is that we don't have just a single initiative alone anymore, but we have a range of programs, a range of priorities that all together have to work hand in hand to achieve our goals. And here I would like to highlight, for example, the deployment of infrastructures, be it for quantum computing or quantum communication. it serves multiple purposes. One purpose is really to bring the technology to you, to the users, give you a place where you can, let's call it, play with it, you can familiarize with it, you can understand how it works, and by accessing the infrastructure, you can also see how this technology might help your business roadmaps, how you could integrate this in your processes, in your products, and so on. But of course, it's also an incentive for the startups, because we say we're creating a lead market, knowing that many actors are still prudent to invest or to embark in this technology. So here we provide also a marketplace for the startups to provide their products. And with the 7 sisters, as Professor Kalbe has called them, or the supercomputing centers that will host the quantum computers, we said explicitly we're only going to buy European technology to give the European startups really a chance to succeed in the market. Now, I will run the next slides very quickly. This is just for the background to see the roadmap that we have in the deployment of quantum computers. But our aim is really to launch every year, with the help of the UHPC joint undertaking, launching every year a new round of acquisition of quantum computers that have different technology approaches, from superconducting to ion traps, photonics, giving all different approaches a chance, and renew them constantly to take pace with the technology. But it's not just providing the quantum computers. This is flanked by competence centers, by centers of excellence that will help the interested user to get familiar with the technology, to transpose his particular computing problem to a quantum machine, but also to develop the missing building blocks and further mature the machines. On sensing now, this is for us, let's say, the new kid on the block, because if you want to deploy a large-scale infrastructure in sensing, it's less natural to conceive than computing or communication. But what we have now introduced, and it's under negotiation with the relevant program committees from the member states, is to launch 2 quantum sensing infrastructures. One, by creating a fixed network of gravimeters that Professor Kalbe showed you a picture. Combine this with gravimeters that are circulating in the air on a helicopter, on a balloon, or whatever, and then ultimately connect it also to a satellite. And the other key application we would like to demonstrate is using quantum technologies in medical applications, in magnetic, MRI, I lost the abbreviation, to really help medical applications like cancer detection, cancer screening, diagnosis, brain surgery, and so on. So this, we hope that we can publish a course still by the end of the year to also show that quantum sensing is a mature technology. And here with the examples of and I can go also on with quantum communications, I hope you see now that the next step to be taken is not on further working on the fine-tuning of quantum physics principles, but really now showing that quantum will bring real benefits, will do certain things that cannot be done otherwise, and the development effort is now not so much on the quantum side, but bringing this to health application, to geology, to navigation, and so on. And I trust that in 5 years from now, quantum will almost be pervasive, but everyone will understand what it is. Now, the last point, and that's what was mentioned several times, is the CHIPS Act. We have created now a lot of expectation. I've convinced you, I hope, that tomorrow you have to go to the shop next door and buy a quantum device. But then where can you find it? If we don't manage now to start developing the whole production line, from standardized design tools and libraries that you can use in the cloud from your home, and you do your design, and then it's sent to a fab and the components come back. But really we need to be able to produce now large volumes of quantum components at reasonable price that are further and further integrated if we really want to make the breakthrough and have pervasiveness of quantum devices and applications all around us. So that's the end of my talk. I just wanted to highlight an upcoming event that is taking place from 16th to 20th of October. It's the big annual event organized by the Quantum Flagship, and we're quite happy that they took a big effort to prepare the agenda. And you will see it's a very nice balance of policy strategy sessions with industrial sessions, and then of course also an academic strand, so that we're covering the whole questions of the ecosystem. Thank you for your attention.